Palmer-Jennings. Erin has been seated additional time from James Rosenberger. James, are you here? She will have a total of 6 minutes.
Good morning, commissioners. Thank you guys so much for having me here and also listening to all of us. It's very unheard of these days. My name is Erin Olszewski, and I'm here in support of the Collier Health Freedom Bill of Rights Ordinance and the Health Freedom Resolution. A little bit about my background and why it's important that you understand how imperative it is that what I'm about to share with you is in your decision today. First, I'm a mom. I have 3 boys. I'm here to protect them, but I'm also here to protect and defend your children and grandchildren as well. I'm a registered nurse. I'm here to stand up for my patients and honor those who have died unnecessarily. I'm an author of a book that is no longer allowed on bookshelves, which I'm going to give each of you a copy to read because of censorship. They won't even put it on bookshelves so people won't find out what's going on. And also, I'm an Army combat veteran. I served over a year in Iraq, 2003 to 2004. Commissioner LaCastro, thank you for your service, and Commissioner Cowell, thank you for your service as well. My oath never expires, not only to my country, but also to my patients. So at the height of the pandemic, I actually traveled from Florida in the Tampa Bay area to New York to work in the COVID ICU. I actually was placed at the epicenter of the epicenter, which is Elmhurst Hospital in Queens, New York. I just want to make this very clear that this was not just solely happening in New York, but all around our great nation, including Florida, and more specifically right here in your county. I know this because upon my return after getting kicked out of New York for trying to advocate for my patients, I began advocating for patients all around Florida. The same situation in every single hospital. What I witnessed in New York can only just be described as a turnkey style assembly line to a body bag. There's no liability. There's gag orders on all of our staff, including myself. We were threatened to be sent home if we said anything. They banned family members, which are the patient's advocates, which should never happen ever again. They banned treatments. I always say that politicians make lousy doctors. A politician or government should never get in between the doctor-patient relationship ever again. If they wanted to do that, they can go to medical school or become a nurse. There was financial incentives put on admissions of patients, so $13,000 to admit patients. Why not? We were actually ordered down from sending any of the patients to the comfort ship, which was wide open. The Govt Center was empty. The Good Samaritan tents were empty. They admitted them for $13,000 a person. The protocols consisted of sedation, paralyzing agents, and then essentially a vent. Some of the patients' rooms that I went into, there was feces dried up their backs for 2-3 weeks. They had bed sores where you could see their bones. They weren't coding full code patients. Being a full code means that you want all resuscitation done and all measures done. CPR, you want to be saved. They were not doing that. And they were not doing it behind locked hospital doors. And nobody knew except for the people that were in there. They ended up in a body bag. Eventually we just had garbage bags, and then they were tossed into the freezer trucks. Every single one of my patients, outside of one patient, died, and I had to stack their bodies in these freezer trucks, but they were not dying of COVID. And on top of that, they ended up banning autopsies. So there was a $39,000 price tag for the ventilators and sometimes $10,000 for each death. It's absolutely disgusting. I tried to say something and I was unable to. I was threatened with being sent home, so I decided that I was going to go undercover. Got some spy glasses, got some audio gear, and I started recording for the next 4 weeks. I'd like to share a little clip, if I could, because I think that it's very important that you actually hear with your own ears what is actually, what happened, what continues to happen to this very day in the hospitals. This is a seasoned medical doctor working at the New York City hospital. He was on a travel assignment. He was making approximately $75,000 a week. Nurses were getting $10,000 a week, so this was hush money, in my opinion. He ended up calling all the nurses together after he was essentially busted for not coding a full-coded patient, and actually wrote her death certificate before she even died, and then called the family and lied to them. But I'd like to just have this on record because I think it's very important that the public know that this happened and this was going on.
If there was family in the room, if the ethics committees was in there and Jacob was standing in the room, you guys wouldn't do what you guys just did.
No.
Like, you guys would have been way more proactive.
Absolutely.
And that's what I have a problem with. Because if you, in good conscience, could say, well, we would have done the same thing regardless of who was watching us right now, then I'd be like, all right, fine. But I don't feel like that's the case.
Let me ask you a question, and this is whatever your opinion is. What do you think the right thing to do for her is in that setting that we just had?
I think the right thing to do for her is what she wants. During that time when she was crashing, she was full code. You guys were already having conversations with the nurse to not code this patient. And when I went to go call the code, you were saying, no, don't call code.
Right?
But at that time, she was full code.
Yep.
Later on, she became DNR, I think, around 145.
Yep.
But when she was crashing, it was 115, 120.
Yep.
So if you don't want to code a patient, you need to aggressively contact your family to make it a DNR before this happened.
Totally agree.
To put on.
I'm going to cut it short. I know that my time is short, but that's clearly murder.
Yeah.
I'm just going to end with this. The last thing standing between a patient and body bag is a good nurse. If a good nurse isn't allowed, sorry, this is tough. Sorry. If a good nurse isn't allowed to do her job, sorry. Sorry. Then it's an automatic death sentence for our patients. And we're forced to watch them die unnecessarily. And now we have to live with that reality forever in our hearts and our souls. And you know, a lot of us have been holding the line for a really long time. And this dam is about to break, and we are calling for reinforcements. We need you guys to support us to make sure that this never ever happens again, because it could be you, it could be your family members next time. And any person that's in opposition of this resolution in the ordinance is likely someone that you don't want taking care of you. Yeah. Or they have something to hide. So on this, united we stand against those we trusted. I hope that you guys will really dig deep in your souls and your hearts and understand that this is good for humanity, not only Floridians, but all over the world. So God bless you, and thank you for listening to me.
Miller will go with this.